We hope they will. The Syrian opposition was gathered together in Riyadh in an unprecedented move. All of the factions were represented. They agreed on a platform, on a vision for Syria. They agreed on what the new Syria should look like and the process for getting there. And they picked their negotiating team. And so now they're ready. It is the regime of Bashar al-Assad that has been dragging its feet.
It says it's ready.
Well, we will see. It has said many things before that it didn't comply with. We hope that the talks will begin on the 25th, so we can launch the process that will lead to the establishment of an interim governing council that will assume power from the Bashar regime and that will then move towards writing a new constitution and having elections. And we hope that and expect that during the interim period of this transition period, Bashar al-Assad will exit because he has absolutely no role to play in the future Syria.
If the talks go ahead on the 25th, you will have to sit at the same table as Iran. Are you going to be able to work together now that you don't have diplomatic relations and the strains are at an unprecedented low?
Well, I think that the talks will be between Syrians and Syrians. We will not be at the table, nor will Iran.
But they'll open with you.
We are committed to the process, the transition process in Syria. We are committed to what is called now the Vienna process, the Geneva principles and the principles enshrined in the UN Security Council resolutions, in spite of our differences with Iran.
You've had talks with the US Secretary of State John Kerry. He's possibly leaving London to go to an announcement that sanctions will be lifted against Iran. Did you have concerns that you expressed to him?
We have concerns about Iran's behavior in general. Iran is a country that has to decide whether it is a revolution or a nation state. If it is a revolution, it is irrational and emotional and impulsive and expansionary and irrational, difficult to deal with. If it is a nation states tend to be reasonable, rational actors, and they know their limits and they work on the basis of what is mutually beneficial. And so with Iran, we're not sure. We don't know if it's a revolution or a nation state. We hope it will see itself as a nation state and act as such. But what we have seen, unfortunately, in the last 35 years is a country that has used murder, a country that has used terrorism, a country that has used sectarianism, a country that has interfered in the affairs of others in the region in a very destructive and destabilizing manner. That is what concerns us.
But they have equally, sir, they have concerns about you and your behavior in the region, your decision to suddenly cut off ties, the execution of Nimr al-Nimr.
What business does Iran have in it? Iran puts to death more than 1,000 people a year. That's their business. We don't know why they were put to death. In our case, this was transparent. Iran is arguing that this man was a man of religion and a peaceful protester. He was a terrorist. He was as much a man of religion as Osama bin Laden was. He was recruiting, he was inciting, he was equipping, he was plotting, and he was executing terrorist attacks that led to the death of a number of security officials in Saudi Arabia, and that's why he was sentenced to death. And so, with all due respect to Iran, they have no business interfering in our judiciary, one. And two, the last thing they can say is that Saudi Arabia engaged in any kind of aggression towards them. We have been on the receiving end of Iran's aggression for decades now.